My name is Aaliyah, and I'm going to be making some Rugelach. So it's after Hanukkah, but I'm still making this for the holiday season. This is a Jewish pastry, also I think just kind of generally known as an Eastern European. It's not really a cookie. I think I would more describe it as a pastry filled with nuts and fruit and preserves. And I've never made it before, but I have had it several times. And I also haven't baked anything for a while. So my dad is going to be in the background helping me. I am using a recipe I found online that I will link in the description. So right now I am just making the dough because that has to sit in the refrigerator. So the first thing to do is put the cream cheese and the butter into the food processor with a bunch of other ingredients that I will tell you as I am putting them in. I have decided to have this recipe because it was for 50 to 60 servings, so like pieces of pastry, and there's only 3 of us in this house, so that was far too many. So I'm working with cutting everything down by half, and hopefully I have done all the math correctly, and I remember to do the correct measurements on everything. So I think I've gotten the right amount of the cream cheese. My dad told me to do about half of this container of cream cheese. And then now I'm doing this entire block of butter. It's supposed to be cold and chopped. If I remember correctly from when I did used to bake, I know that when it's cold and you put it in like that, I think that makes it flakier with pastry. I mean, I have not the best knowledge anymore because it's just been a very long time since I've done anything myself. After these is sour cream, which we are using plain yogurt instead. And then there's going to be flour, salt, sugar, and then those are going to all go together in this processor to make the dough. And then that is when I believe we mush it all together into an actual dough. And I'm going to clean my hands off. And the dough goes into the refrigerator for, I believe it said an hour to 48 hours. So I will just see how things go. I'm just going to real quickly look at my measurements for the sour cream. So for my half recipe, I need 1/8 cup of sour cream. And I have a 1/4 cup, so I'm just going to do a half of that as best as I can. Okay. So then now it's just the flour, salt, and sugar. So the flour is 1 cup, which I have. Okay, next is 1/8 teaspoon of salt, and I have a 1/4 teaspoon, so it's going to be a bit hard to do a partial, like a half of this, but I'll do what I can. Okay, and then the last thing is a tablespoon of granulated sugar, and I have a 1/2 tablespoon, so I'm doing 2 of these. Okay, so now I'm just supposed to gently pulse it and not overdo it, just until it looks crumbly. Okay, my dad is telling me that that looks good. And let's see, reading the directions. And now it looks like I'm supposed to make it into a ball shape. I'm gonna clear some space so that I can put the board, I'm forgetting the name right now, but the board for rolling it out. And I'll put some flour on so it doesn't stick. Oh. My dad is telling me to make sure I don't cut my hands on the blade, which I did kind of forget about. So this is just supposed to go into a ball shape. So it says to do 4 equal pieces, so I'm just going to do 2. Thank you. And then form these in 2 balls. And then these are going to get covered with plastic and put in the refrigerator. And yeah, it says to refrigerate these for 1.5 hours or up to 48 hours. So that's going to be the end of this part, and then I will come back and do the rest, which will be the filling, and there's a third part, but I remember there's the filling. So that is after this has been properly refrigerated. Here's my 2, and I will be back in a little bit. Hi, I'm back, and we're now going to do the rest of the rugelach. So we're doing the filling, and then there's an egg wash for the outside, and we roll them up and then bake them. So the first thing to do is the directions say to put either walnuts or pecans into a skillet. We'll chop them up and put them into a skillet and roast them for a little bit. But my dad just put them into the microwave and that worked the same. So that's what we did. So I have, how much did we need for this? I have 3/4 cup of chopped pecans in here. So the filling ingredients are going to go into this food processor and get ground up into basically a paste, and then those will get set aside until we're done with the dough, which is right now sitting out until we need it. So the nuts go in, and then now chocolate chips. So the recipe called for semi-sweet, but my dad chose to use dark chocolate because he said that those are better. So that is what we are using. And for this, we need, I think it was 5/8. Yes, for my half recipe, we are doing 5/8 cup of chocolate chips, which I'm using this to measure that, which ends up being 150 milliliters. Okay, that is about what we need. And then the next part is going to be berry preserves, and so that can really be any kind, and we're doing black currant, and it's 1/4 cup. That's the kind we're using if anyone is interested. And 1/8 cup of brown sugar. So this is the brown sugar. And that is everything that goes into the filling. So we are just going to pulse this together, it says, until it becomes a paste. I'm just going to scrape the inside. It is getting close to what it needs to be. It's stuck on the blade. I think it just needs a tiny bit more. I'm gonna say I think it's good. It feels pretty much all the same texture, and it does feel like a paste. I'm going to bring it over to the camera so you can see what this looks like. So this is what the paste looks like. This is going to be the filling for the inside of the Rugelach. The next step is to combine some cinnamon and sugar, and then that will be set aside. Okay, so the sugar is 1/8 cup. I have a 1/4 cup, so I'm just going to use half of that. I'm going to use this tablespoon that I have instead because the 1/4 cup is wet. So. That's the sugar, and then we are doing 3/4 cup of cinnamon, I believe. No, yeah. It's cut off teaspoon. Okay, and then we do 3/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon.
Quarter teaspoon should be over there.
This is 1/4 teaspoon, so I'm gonna do 3 of them. And then these just need to be combined and then set aside. I believe this goes on the outside over top of the egg wash. That is my assumption based on what Rugelach tastes like. So I'm just mixing this together until it's completely the same, you know, real simple. Ah, shoot, it would be simple if I don't spill it on myself. Okay, just set that aside. Okay, next is the dough. So we preheated the oven already to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, and then I'm going to put a little bit of flour on my surface here. And then I'm going to take one of these balls that I previously made. And then I'm going to roll this out, it says to about 1/8 inch thickness. So I think I have it thin enough. Okay, so I am using a 9-inch cake pan, and then I'm gonna make an imprint of the circle, and then I'm supposed to cut around this. any excess dough is going to just go into a ball together and still be used. Okay, so I'm going to take, it says, the recipe says 1/4 of the filling. I'm just going to kind of eyeball that and to take this blade out so I don't cut myself. So I'm just going to take enough that I can spread it out. And you want a thick layer of filling. These will expand, and I'm going to use my fingers to spread it. The directions say you can use your fingers, and to leave an inch around the edges in the circle. So I can tell that I am going to get more filling than what I have right now, but I will spread this out. It is not the easiest thing in the world to spread, so I would say be careful, because once you have it on here, the dough does stick. My cat is around. Hopefully he doesn't jump up here. This is normally his spot to sit. You can't come in here, baby. I'm gonna put some more. Oh, I think my dad wants me to use a spoon. Oh, for getting it out. Okay. So that's probably about the edge. Just need it in this direction, a little bit in there, and then in there. You cannot jump up here, so don't think about it. No boo-boo. You can sit there. If this is your first time on my channel, my cat's name is Ziggy, and I have videos of him all over my channel. So you can see him, since you probably won't be seeing him in this video because we're keeping him away from the food. Don't think about it. You can't come over here. I have this spot for a while. I'm sorry. So I'm almost done with the filling. I would say it's not that hard to spread. You just have to be careful not to drag it too much, because you will take the dough with you. So it's a little bit more of padding like patting and doing a little bit of a drag is what I've done. Where did he go? Okay. All right. So that's filling in these ones. And then we're going to cut the circle into 8 equal triangles. And the way she has it is starting by going in half and then fourths and then eighths. And that's getting those triangles is how you get the shape that you are going to roll up into the rugelach. I will say mine are not going to be terribly equal probably because I'm actually really bad at cutting straight. Okay. So now I think we're going to roll these up. So the way to roll these up, it says to start at the wide part of the triangle and basically just roll. Mine will definitely not look like hers, but just going to go. I think mine might end up being very fat, but that is what I have. And we do have to put an egg wash on top, but right now I'm just going to be putting them on the baking sheet. And it says to push the end point into the dough to secure it, and then when you're putting on the baking sheet to put it point down. So that's something to be aware of. So now I'm just going to roll these all, which is very quick. And mine are definitely like shorter and fatter than hers. I don't know if that means I cut them wrong or what that means, but they'll still taste good. So it's not that big of a deal. That one looks nice. And the directions also say to just keep space on the baking sheet for them to expand. These aren't going to expand as much as some pastries or sugar cookies or something like that, I don't believe, but they will expand at some. So don't crowd them too close. Oh, my little fat guy. Yeah, Some of these are gonna be real squat. This one is the ugliest. My dog's just getting up and she makes a lot of noises. Bless you. That one's pretty good. You're making a lot of noise, Win-Win. This is my last one for this dough ball. I'm probably going to do the other dough ball on my own, not recording it, because there's no reason for you to watch me do both. I do not have these spaced properly right now. I'm just placing them. I am guessing the egg wash is what I do next, but I'm going to check. Okay, yeah. So when you bake, brush the top of each cookie with egg wash and then sprinkle lightly with cinnamon sugar. Let them bake for 25 minutes or until golden brown. So now I'm just going to make an egg wash, which I believe it's the whole egg. Yeah, it's the whole egg, and then I think just some water. Yeah. Does it say how much water? Like, is it just some water? It says a half teaspoon. Okay. A large egg and half a teaspoon. I also need half a teaspoon, well, this is a fourth a teaspoon, but I need to do water, so a fourth, I do 2. Okay, I've just added the water and fork. Here's the brush. My dad's gonna give them to me.
That's what you do. Just do that. Just leave them in place. You just want to do the surface.
I am re-spacing them as I do this. And I'm just brushing the tops. And I just have these on parchment paper and a baking sheet. And then I'm just gonna sprinkle some cinnamon on top. They're not supposed to be covered, so just like a little sprinkle. This is what we have right now. And then we're just going to put them in the oven, and I will show you what they look like when they're done. Here's the final product. These have come out of the oven. These are the ones I made. And then we do also have, my dad made ones with the rest of the dough. But these are the ones that I made. You can see that they are golden brown where the egg wash was. I have not tried them yet because we're going to have dinner soon, so I will have one after dinner, but I'm sure that they will taste good. So this will be the end of my video. Thank you for watching, and if you liked this, then please like the video and think about subscribing to my channel. Have a good day, and if you are celebrating any holidays, then have a good holiday. Bye.